Mark, let's talk about what could happen in January regarding Manchester United, because there seems to be mixed messages coming out from Solskjaer as to whether or not they will actually make acquisitions.
Yeah, I think they'll be quiet this January, I really do. I think that United have got into this situation. A lot of big clubs are the same now, whereby they only want to do business in the summer. And, you know, from the outside, you look at United, they desperately need at least maybe 2 additions because they've got injuries in midfield, they've got problems at the back. I think up front they're OK for now, but they really need players in. But they're sticking to this line that they don't want players to come in who won't make them better. Now, you can think of a lot of players they could get.
But they're terrible.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think that if I was at Man United, I'd be signing 4 or 5 players because they desperately need experience, they need quality, and they just need a morale lift. But their view is that they want to wait until the summer to get targets they want to get. Now, I think that, you know, 10, 12 years ago, clubs had different kind of ownership models, that the owners were more kind of in tune with what the fans wanted. They would sign players to keep the fans quiet almost. But nowadays, the owners are based all over the world. They're not interested in what the fans think. They only look at the bottom line. They think that, will this be a profitable deal? Does this deal make sense? And if it doesn't, they won't do it. Now, big clubs don't sign players in January, or very rarely they do. Liverpool signed Van Dijk, and that was a brilliant deal, but they had that deal done pretty much 6 months earlier. They just couldn't get it over the line. Now, Man United have got to January. They tried to get Erling Haaland done. Guess who was involved in the deal? Mino Raiola, so it didn't happen. And now that, to be fair, they even need a striker, to be honest. They need a midfielder and they need a defender. So I just don't think they're going to sign anybody. I think it's going to be a quiet window, and the fans will be waiting for players to come in, but it's not going to happen because they're not going to sign the players that they need. They're not going to sign a 27, 28-year-old midfielder because they'll think it's not a long-term deal. If it was me, I'd go out and sign Edin Dzeko, for instance, or a midfielder that's got maybe a 30, 31-year-old midfielder to bring the players on around him. But they won't do it because, in United's eyes, it's a short-term deal. There's no resale value. There's no kind of long-term value. The short-term value exceeds the long-term value sometimes, but United's view now is totally long-term. So they've gone from signing lots of Galactico players and players on long contracts they didn't need, like Schweinsteiger, to going the other way, signing young British players. But there's a real gap in the middle now of players with experience and quality, and just that ability to help them away from home when they're struggling, help to have a bit of guidance on the pitch in the dressing room. But no, they're going to stick with what they've got.
Mark, they're obviously played off the park against Arsenal. And the problem that Solskjaer has at the moment is this tricky run of fixtures that's coming up. He's got the semi-final in the League Cup against Manchester City, but before that, away against Wolves in the FA Cup. Are we in any sort of world in which Wolves thrash United and Solskjaer could go?
No.
Why not, though? Why not?
Because, well, you could even say the club is in a bit of denial, really, as to what the situation is, because, you know, they are fully behind Solskjaer because he matches their so-called sporting project to turn the squad around, to make it a younger squad. But you're right, you know, Pochettino's gone this season. A lot of other managers have gone. Pochettino's available, but I think Solskjaer's doing a great job for the Glazers and Ed Woodward. He's cutting the squad down. He's making it a younger squad. But if you're a Man United fan, you look at that squad thinking, what's going on? You know, yeah. Robin van Persie said it on TV on Wednesday after the game. The players look at Solskjaer and they don't fear Solskjaer. They look at him and there's no kind of sense that I've got to impress this manager. I've got Liverpool players with Jurgen Klopp, City players with Pep Guardiola, even Arsenal players with Mikel Arteta. You've already seen it. They look at the guy on the touchline and think, I need to make sure I impress that guy because otherwise I've got a problem. I don't see any of the Man United players looking at Solskjaer thinking that. But equally, he doesn't challenge the owners. He doesn't challenge Ed Woodward. He doesn't challenge the Glazers. So it's great for them because, you know, Solskjaer just get on with what he's doing and he'll happily trot out the line about looking at the summer and not wanting to rush into signing players. If that continues, he probably won't have a job in the summer because he'll find that he's not in the top 4, top 6 and the Man United is sliding down the table again. So it doesn't help anybody, really. If I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd put pressure on the owners to say, we need players in now, but he won't do it.
Frank's so excited to talk, he starts sneezing all over the place. Frank, how this Manchester United side has changed the one that you face as Chelsea and how they just to be accepting now of mediocrity?
That must be very, very hard for the fans. You know, I played against Manchester United. It was absolutely fantastic. With also Arsenal, and we can compare the two. In 20 years' time, you know, the level of those two clubs changed dramatically, and in a bad way for the fans. You want to see those top two teams in back to the success, but it's going to be very hard, you know. If you don't get, as Mark said, players who have experience but are still in the right level to bring and to guide the other players, the younger ones, maybe you can achieve something. But if you only think that bringing young players between other young players is going to be a problem to have a squad and to have a squad with results. We can when we see Liverpool for example, see Anderson, see Milner. They bring a lot to the dressing room. They bring a lot on the field with their experiences, and with the other players, it makes a very good mix who brings the success. And that's the main problem for Manchester United, I think. It's too young.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPNFC 7 days a week, subscribe to ESPN+.